We're back, baby! We haven't done a review for a movie in so long. Like, it's literally been months since the last time we actually just sat down and reviewed a movie.
It's been months.
Lots of big movies coming out.
And we are, once again, going down to the pool of, little insignificant YouTuber movies.
A lot of the comments on our most recent video reacting to Chris Stuckman were kind of focusing on like, oh, we love it that you guys are, kind of shining light on these small YouTube creators. Like, it's so cool
and
that you're
their movies that they make.
And their movies that they made, kind of YouTube filmmakers especially don't really
we gotta start reviewing YouTube filmmakers.
Well, it's also better because if you make fun of filmmakers on YouTube when we want to get hired at Disney, we have a better shot because all we've done is made fun of people on YouTube. We haven't made fun of
and all those Disney properties we made fun of.
We're gonna do a review that people have been asking for a little while.
But since we are dipping back into the YouTuber poll, we thought it'd be best to tackle one of Ben Shapiro's films.
Yeah, he's a small-time creator.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Shapiro.
What one of those?
Yeah.
YouTuber names are always really weird.
He doesn't really do movies. Sometimes he does movie reviews. I've seen a couple, and so I was kind of like, what is this guy? What kind of movies does he make? He really didn't like the Batman. He had some really interesting things to say.
I didn't see the Batman.
Me neither. So I could agree with
You didn't like the Batman? What was he didn't like about Batman?
Too many minorities playing good guys.
Catwoman, who is a woman of color, who is, of course, good, and you have the black female mayor, who is good, and you have the black Jim Gordon, who is good. Every white character is apparently bad, like all of them.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be reviewing Ben Shapiro's directorial debut, Assault on Prairie 13. What is the movie called? Prairie Attack?
Attack on the... What is it? Little House on the Prairie? Little House on the Attacked Prairie?
Yeah, Little House on the Prairie. That sounds right.
Little Attack on a Little Prairie?
I think the full title is Ben Shapiro's Terror on the Prairie.
Terror on the Prairie.
Terror on the Prairie.
That is not a good title.
Because he produced, directed, wrote, and starred in it in a cameo.
He did.
He played the cow.
Bits aside, I want to give the disclaimer that we're not going to be talking about the politics of Ben Shapiro.
No, that's just a joke.
Everyone's seen Ben Shapiro. He's always destroying people.
Now he's destroying film.
And now he's finally taken the fight to big Hollywood and he's destroying movies.
We are making movies on our Daily Wire
Wire Plus. We're going to get to that. I want a whole section on the Daily Wire Plus because I paid.
Get into it.
I paid. You want to get into it now, or we're
this is thoughts going in, dude.
All right, so thoughts going in. We actually had to buy a subscription to Daily Wire Plus.
You bought a subscription to Daily Wire Plus.
Okay, so I might have brought us into this, and I apologize.
Kevin casually brought up this movie to possibly review, and then Alec bought a subscription.
No, I brought...
I was only waiting for the last straw.
It is even worse than that. I brought it up, and Kevin was like, oh, that could be interesting to review. And I was like, I already bought the subscription.
I definitely egged him on without saying much. That's because I knew it wouldn't take much.
No.
Alec, where else will you find all this unbiased content?
It appears it's only on Daily Wire Plus. Now, of course, I still would have pushed him to get the cheap because there's 3 different tiers. One of which is you get to be Ben Shapiro's best friend in his book club.
What? Oh yeah, no joke. I gotta review the tiers of Daily Wire Plus.
What tier are you?
The bottom tier, dude. Because the rest of the tiers...
You're not even getting the unfiltered factual content.
I know.
That's not even real.
They're not even unlocking the tabs.
That doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, double what you're paying a month.
You're not supporting the cause.
All the other tiers required a yearly subscription. They had to lock you into a full year. And I was like, I am not paying for a full year of Daily Wire Plus.
Why not? How much was it?
$14 a month. You do get access to Ben Shapiro's book club, though.
Oh, that is cool.
If you pay for the top tier...
I don't know. Mein Kampf, probably.
God.
Why would he be reading that?
That would be the just most mask off. It's just, you subscribe to his book club. The first book is Mein Kampf.
All right, guys, today we'll be discussing the facts.
So this is a brief review of the Daily Wire Plus subscription service, which even if you're a fan of
this is the first unbiased.
Yes.
subscription service.
Well, it's very unbiased. They don't have an agenda, which I
have no
really like.
agenda.
I'm greeted with that message once you come to the website.
The
first thing they tell you
agenda-less
it is no agenda.
video subscription service.
And they have no bias either. They say no agenda, no bias. They're just here to give you the facts. And that's what Ben Shapiro's all about. He's there to give you the facts.
This movie's about the facts.
It's all about the facts. Everything is fact-based.
You shoot at someone, you miss.
There is no feelings. There's no feelings. That's what I like about movies. I hate feelings. I hate feeling things, and that's what I wanted.
I just want facts in my movies.
And so once you come on to Daily Wire Plus, you're greeted with all the great Daily Wire content that you've come to know and love. You got all your Ben Shapiros.
How many pieces of media do they have on there?
Oh well, so what are you talking about when you say
how many
media?
movies, documentary series?
You keep saying these movies words like
how
features.
How many feature
like
films?
we're talking about 4.
$15 a month.
Think about Disney Plus launches. They have a shit ton of stuff.
Shit ton.
Fucking
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
They got everything.
They got everything. And granted, that's lamestream media. They got the lamestream. They got the big dollars, dude.
They're biased.
They're
dude.
biased, and they can buy anything they want. Ben Shapiro doesn't got all the money, so he's
too busy being unbiased.
He's too busy being unbiased. And so, of course, I had to spend $14 because one, I needed to see this premium unbiased content, but two, I'm helping support the cause. So yeah, it was an easy purchase. It's a shitty subscription service,
especially for that price.
For
it's unbiased.
But like most of the content that's actually there is stuff that's already on YouTube. Like that's what I was kind of saying. If you're
it's Ben Shapiro slams.
Yes, even if you're a fan of Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire in general, it's just like if you're paying $14 a month, you're getting most of the same stuff. You're getting some, like they do have some original series.
Here's why the Daily Wire will fail. Not because they have bad content and that they're unbiased. The way you keep people subscribing every month is they think, I need to keep watching these things that I'm not watching. You can watch all the Daily Wire stuff in a week.
Daily Wire.
If you really you're like, oh, well, there's nothing else this is offering me. I literally cannot watch anything else.
And they're working off of you're not just subscribing for our great content, you're helping support the fight. I think that's kind of their model as well.
They're the only one that's doing that.
Who
else is supporting the fight?
No,
HBO Max is like, okay, so I know you really want to watch The Raid 2, but you're also supporting the fight.
No, like if you subscribe to like Alex Jones's website, if you support him.
I see.
It's like you're not just paying for the great content.
We need your help. This stuff's expensive. We need your help because we want to produce this film with Gina. We need your membership because what we are doing here is not just providing you an entertainment alternative. We want to provide a safe haven for conservatives to say what they feel.
You're paying to
They shot this movie at Alex Jones's house.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know that. Fun fact.
That little like hole that they had in the middle of the mountains, that was Alex Jones's house. That's what the gay frogs are.
So yeah, that was my review of Daily Wire Plus.
Touch my gay frogs.
The actual like website itself is really lacking content, and that wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't if it was like $6 or like
$1.
This might be stupid on my brain, but if it wasn't a subscription service and the movie was just on like Amazon Prime and I could rent it for $4, like that I wouldn't have that big of a problem with it. But I paid $15, and granted, if I wanted all the rest of that great Daily Plus content, I could watch it still.
Here's the thing: Disney Plus is $6.
Yeah, but
and it has all the same racist content on their
that's biased though, bro. Ben Shapiro, hero of modern cinema, is like, I've hired Gina Carano. She's going to be in my new film, which I'm directing.
Uncanceled Gina Carano.
I've uncanceled Gina Carano. And I was like, that should be interesting. And I remember a couple of months ago, Gina Carano got fired off The Mandalorian, and my reaction... Months? Was it like, it was like a year ago, wasn't it?
You said a couple of months ago. It was
the year is just a couple months.
No.
Either way, it was a couple months ago. Gina Carano gets fired from The Mandalorian. I don't like the show anyway. I didn't love her character, and so I wasn't like, no, Gina Carano.
But she was shredded.
She was shredded. She's shredded, and the fun fact about Ben Shapiro, little Ben Shapiro origin story is he did want to be a screenwriter. Like,
I've written a couple comedies, kind of hour-long dramedies for, spec script.
And have they been bought?
No.
It's clear that this is something he's passionate about. Like, I would say that seems obvious that, like, no one else is making movies. Like, CNN isn't making unbiased, like, or I guess they'd be making biased.
They'd be making the true bias.
Yeah.
That's just Hollywood.
That's just Hollywood.
That's just Hollywood. Who's canceling Gina Carano?
Who's canceling Gina Carano?
She did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but like, you know, no other news outlets are making movies. So it's clear that this is something that's very near and dear to him. He always wanted to be making movies. Ben Shapiro, failed screenwriter, isn't a filmmaker. I was like, this could be like just a weird thing that could produce a bad, fun movie because
let's say
hypothetically, it just sounded like a potential shit show. Because Gina Carano,
uncancel Gina Carano.
Even the people that like her, I don't think would say she's a great actor.
One more thing. Is that a Missouri accent that I detect?
St. Louis.
Like
she's terrible.
She's pretty bad. She's shredded. She looks cool. She's got like
I can know why she's put in movies.
Yeah, she has that.
She's
look.
not put in movies for what this movie wanted her to be in.
No. We'll get to that. But like, you know, she has that look of like
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. All of that is just like backdrop to say that I knew the movie was going to be exactly what it was. Like I was kind of hoping for unbiased, but like in reality, just like what I was expecting was a kind of boilerplate Western movie with a canceled actor thrown in there. And what were your guys' thoughts going in? You're Ben Shapiro's biggest fan.
Don't say that.
Out of the three of us, Kevin will call me sometimes, just be like, I just watched the new Ben Shapiro video.
I have said that, but it's usually because
show the camera your Ben Shapiro henna tattoo. When are you gonna get that thing?
It's usually because I think Ben Shapiro is a very, very funny man.
Right on his chest.
With how wrong he is most of the time with his facts.
Wait, we can't say that. What if all of our subscribers are conservative? We
can't keep it.
We have to keep it.
That's true. And he was a certain way about his facts. I saw the advertisement for it. He had that video where he's like, me, Ben Shapiro made this movie.
That Daily Wire's next film will be starring and produced by Gina Carano.
And I was like, I cannot wait.
Facts and logic.
I cannot wait to see the movie he made with his facts and logic. And
wrote, directed, produced, yeah.
And then, to my complete surprise, we looked it up and it was already out.
Yeah, that was
what the
something I
heck?
forgot
This
to
has been
mention.
out for like at least a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Also, Daily Wire had other movies come out.
That's something I actually want to add is that when we were kind of talking about doing this video, we were like, oh shit, there was a lot of buzz about it like a while ago. Like when
a month?
when it got announced.
When it was being announced.
Yeah, I remember
There's no buzz about it now.
Because it was like 2020. By that point, one of their movies had already been released. That their shooter one. Which, like and subscribe if you want a fucking review for that.
We will do it.
We looked it up kind of being like, there's no way it's out yet because we
haven't heard anything about it. Like no one's talking about it.
And then it was like it came out last month.
And we were like,
to no
because it went onto Daily Wire. You and two other people are subscribed to Daily Wire. You guys keep saying we discussed talking it. You guys discussed it on your own, and then it was like we're gonna watch the Ben Shapiro directed.
We could mean two people.
Yeah, we.
No,
we is more than one.
You did this. You did these motions. I saw these motions.
Well, yeah, this is like us.
That finger is hitting me every time.
No, it's up. Your face, my face. His face, my face.
No. I was not against it though because it was already on my radar. I remember when it was announced, I was like, "That is hilarious." They're making movies that what they're going to fill with canceled actors.
Yes,
they're kind of gimmick.
The premise behind that's very funny.
Yeah, so I was excited going into it. I actually knew nothing about it. I just knew it was the Gina Carano movie that Ben Shapiro directed.
So you didn't even know it was Western?
I did not know it was a Western till today.
Interesting.
And
I had known.
I didn't know the name of it till today, even though Kevin said he texted me the name. I did not pay attention to what Kevin was saying.
I saw that text message.
I did not. I didn't pay attention to what Kevin was saying.
It's a very old school name, Terror on the Prairie.
Which I think is a terrible name. It could have been Terror on the Prairie. Just it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the movie.
General premise is extremely boring.
Yes, this movie is boring as heck.
Years after the Civil War, and these ex-Confederates are going and hunting down people that they hate or whatever. And Gina
It's like the outlaw
Carano,
Josie Wales, but not cool.
Gina Carano plays the wife of a soldier that killed the daughter of the leader of the bad guys.
That is a spoiler.
I don't care.
How dare you? The audience.
Cut that.
You don't know that.
No,
they don't know that till the end.
But anyway, so bad guys.
They
are
have their
hunting-
reasons. Bad guys are hunting, getting
Gina
revenge
Carano,
on things.
and
Her husband's away, so
her
she's
husband's away,
defenseless.
so she has to defend. I really thought at the beginning of this movie the whole premise of the movie was, oh, they messed with the wrong woman.
Yes, because Gina Carano is the Hulk.
She is enormous. Massive. You see that woman's arms.
Despite what you think about her and her political views, she is badass looking.
She looks like she could rip your head off.
Yeah, she would destroy me, honestly.
She would destroy you. I want her to destroy me.
Yeah, she just ripped me in half.
I knew it.
No,
cut that. Don't cut that.
No, but going into it, we're like, oh, okay, they messed with the wrong girl. This is.
It's a classic.
Liberal Hollywood has trained us to think this.
Yes.
Obviously, guys.
Well, you think it's John Wick because it's like you mess with the dog, and then it's like, oh, but you mess with the wrong person's dog. That's what you thought this movie was going to be, or at least I did. Because why else cast Gina Carano?
Yeah, why else would you cast her?
Big, tough, strong woman.
It is like casting Arnold Schwarzenegger as this character, as like any character, and then having him not be a complete badass that demolishes them by the end. Like that is what this movie does essentially.
Yes. It should have been cast by just like a normal girl where you're just like, oh, this girl's got to really rise up to this.
Yes.
Okay, she's never been in a situation like this.
Yes.
It is pure might and love for her family that is driving her for this.
Yes.
Instead of me going, she doesn't need that. She will destroy them regardless.
This movie needed a shot where she ripped her sleeves off, revealing her giant
I was waiting
arms.
for that. I was like, well, they're covering up her arms
because this movie.
I have to cover up her arms first so that way she can go.
Well, no, I would argue that the movie very intentionally covers her arms because it knows that if it shows you that, then the whole movie will lose all of its believability.
She's going to destroy them with her bare arms.
Because also all the guys are losers. Like the bad guys,
can you imagine John Cena? Like if the gender roles were reversed. If it's John Cena hiding and be like, like with his big arms.
Like, she's gonna grab the guy that's closest to the window, pull him through the window, use him as a meat shield, and shoot all the other guys. And the movie's gonna be 25 minutes.
And the glass of the window cuts up his innards and they're pouring all over the floor.
This is the first movie where I'm in a dress, I'm in an apron, I've got babies, and I'm like, this is so not like any character I've ever played in my life. I'm like, oh my God.
Going back to the early premise of the movie, it starts off fairly simply. These guys come into Gina Carano's house, and they see
30 minutes into the movie too. It's just taking.
Oh yeah, it takes a long time to get
horribly.
there. Way too long to get there. For a movie that's supposed to be like this short, like nail biting, isolated,
Assault on Precinct 15,
this thriller, and it just doesn't.
They show up, and at first it's like, oh, you know they're the bad guys because you saw the first scene of the movie, and they scalp the guy. And then they are being fed breakfast by Gina Carano, and Gina Carano notices the scalps. And so immediately she's like, these are bad guys. Classic setup for a flawed escalation, where one action leads to another action, and it's kind of tragic.
Oops, yeah.
But Gina Carano pulls out a gun and is like, you guys are murderers, you need to leave. And they're like, hold on. Like,
we ain't murderers, we just have stuff that murderers have.
We just have scalps.
And Gina Carano's like, I don't host murderers. And it's already established at this point that they know that they're Confederates. And so she kicks them out, and they stay around because they're like, well, that's a woman and 2 children. We're going to stay, like, we're just going to kill them. And so what should have happened from there is
because she also took their guns.
Yeah, Gina Carano should have killed one of them, and then led to an escalation where they are now
they're personally invested because one of their people are dead.
Yes.
But instead, there's a personal investment that you don't know about till the end.
Yes.
Instead of it being like, why are these people still
why
here?
Are they, why do they care?
About how we don't kill women and children. It's like, then why are you there?
Yes.
Then why are you even there?
So it needed some sort of personal investment. Instead, all you get for the first hour and like 15 minutes of the movie is that they're there to kill Gina Carano because there's so many times in the movie where I'm like, why haven't you guys just left? Like it would be so much easier and like safer for you if you just left. I was never in a gang in the cowboy days. Like I've never lived that experience. But
it'd be one thing if they were saying stuff like, oh, this chick's pissing me off, I want to kill her in R word or whatever.
It's true that I've done my share of killing, both during the war and after. But one thing I ain't never done, I ain't never hurt a woman or a child.
But they're not. They're just kind of like, we're here, and it's like, don't kill her though. We don't kill women and children. It's like, why are you here?
We just
like,
get in
for other reasons that the audience can't know yet.
Maybe the first scene you have Gina Carano, like first scene of the movie, you have Gina Carano and her husband at the town, and the bandits see her, and like the lead bandit's like, I want her, like something like that.
That's Straw Dogs.
Okay, but I'm just saying the movie needed something like this.
I'm saying like that's what I'm saying. Like a better movie is called Straw Dogs, and that's what happens.
Yeah. Or like I said, it needed to be some sort of escalation where one thing led to another. Instead, for like literally the first hour and 15 minutes, all you get is none of that. Like it's just they're there for some reason, and it's really, really boring.
And there's so many points where you're just like, why didn't she shoot him there?
Yeah.
Why didn't she
More people should have died early on.
Yes.
Like there's like 5 bandits, something like that, 4 or 5 bandits, and it takes a really long time for any of them to get killed. I don't think one actually dies until the climax of the movie.
Yeah, she kills Daniel Day-Lewis's son.
She kills the son of Daniel Day-Lewis.
Which I was shocked to learn that was the son of Daniel Day-Lewis. I was like, how did you get here? You suck.
I'm sort of living out my childhood fantasy of wanting to be in a Western and ride horses and shoot.
There's no music in it.
Oh, fuck, I want to talk about that.
No music.
So the movie starts off and there's no music. And
They're like, we're going to be like No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, within 5 minutes, I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. In No Country for Old Men, when I was told there was no music in that, I was like, shit.
You didn't notice.
No way.
You didn't notice.
It has excellent sound design.
Excellent sound design, and that movie's paced perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie, I noticed 5 minutes in, I was like, where's the music? This movie needs music. I'm sorry, you guys aren't good enough to just not.
Like, for the beginning, it was kind of fine. It was like,
For
okay,
that-
I was like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, it's kind of like a cold open, right? You're just setting the dreary tone, but then they're like, you get like 15 minutes and you're like, there should have been something
The
here.
movie is so bad, I actually think it would have been better if they downloaded royalty-free music from the YouTube stock library and put it in.
I agree.
I'm not even joking. That is how boring most of this movie is. I'm just like, it needs something to keep it moving. Like, the movie's so boring, it's boring to talk about because we're talking about other things.
Well, because the thing that's boring about it is that I don't want to talk about the movie. I want to talk about what I wanted the movie to be.
Yes.
And the movie would be better if it was directed by liberals.
Yeah, so this goes into our
is
big...
the thesis of this review.
All right, everyone calm down. So, hear me out. I don't know, I'm gonna guess that the script was not written for this movie, if that makes sense. It was not written for Gina Carano. It was not, I'm gonna guess it was not written to be a Daily Wire Plus exclusive, necessarily.
Found the project because the writer Josiah Nelson, he said, I'd love to make a movie with you. I said, well, what are you guys like? I got this great Western. I said, well, we need a Western for Gina Carano. And so he sent it to me, and literally days later, we greenlit the movie, and 2 months later, we were in production.
You're homesteading, you could be miles, even days from the nearest neighbor, and I just thought, what would it be like if a woman from the city that was out of her element was put in a situation where there's literally no one around to help, she has to survive on her own.
And they touched it up because they were like,
they touched
we
it
got
up
to
a
make
little
sure
bit.
that all the gun violence is realistic, and that they reload, and that they miss most of the time.
They miss most of the time.
And that it hurts when you shoot a shotgun. You're
This movie really proves why realistic gunfights in movies should not happen.
Sometimes they're good. Sometimes I like really realistic ones where they're like, oh.
This movie needed more fun. Like, because the movie was so boring besides the gunfights that it needed fun gunfights.
Well, yeah, I was just sitting there just like, wait, hold on. When's the part where Gina Carano rips her sleeves off and she just starts beating these guys to death with her bare hands?
So like
because Hollywood has
trained you.
It's trained me to
conditioned
want that.
you to want.
So maybe
women.
that's what the Daily Wire is actually pointing out, is that they made a really good movie and we're trained against it.
Yeah, and I will say that like the movie's not as like anti-girl boss as it could have been, because like
no, it definitely. So again, I would have gotten more on board with it if it wasn't Gina Carano.
Yes,
like
we were talking about
it while we were watching.
Random
where
skinny.
It totally, like, the arc makes sense for me. Like it's like there's plenty of movies where this totally works, and I don't think it doesn't work in this, where she's put in this situation she never would have and never has, but she's driven by like the love of her family and just like the energy of the situation. She's rising up to the occasion, and she has to become a badass eventually.
Yes.
She's able to do things that she would have never done because of the situation she's in. For me, it doesn't work with Gina Carano. One, she's not a strong enough actress for that, and two, like, she like to sell that emotion.
Yeah.
And two, she looks too badass. Like, I was just sitting there waiting for her to be what I know her as, I guess.
I think it needed to be more like in your face about, okay, we cast Gina Carano, let's use Gina Carano. I think it needed a director that's like, okay, now that...
Well, yeah, they needed a modern left-leaning
Liberal director.
And I'm not even trying to make a political thing. It's just like a lot of the, a lot of the people that work in Hollywood and make movies now are left-leaning, and it's funny that just like kind of trying to ignore the things that are fun in movies. That maybe you can look at it in a, this is a left-leaning light. This is
just
clearly got a political thing behind it. It's like, Lita Battle Angel clearly has a political thing behind it. This woman's, she's empowered and blah, blah, blah. It's like, but that's sweet. That's all badass.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah. Something I want to clarify is that what Sam Slade's saying is not that like your ideology will make it so you make a better movie or not.
No.
Because they're like, another like empowering female movie that sucks donkey dick is Atomic Blonde. Like
or
that,
Wonder Woman.
Or Wonder Woman. Those movies suck and they're boring. Really what it takes is a talented person that is willing to like look at like making a fun movie.
Yeah, there was no talented people involved.
No.
Actually, there could have been. I just couldn't tell.
If they were fired or told to shut the fuck up. Again, I don't think the movie was like originally pitched to have Gina Carano. So once they realized they had Gina Carano, I think they needed to like completely rewrite it and just be like, okay, these scenes need to be restructured in a way that like it needed to be fundamentally changed so that Gina Carano.
Her character was also very, like, clearly in the script written to be very motherly and feminine. Mm-hmm. Like, she's constantly breastfeeding her kid and taking care of her kid.
Which I like. I'm all aboard on that.
I'm all aboard. Like, I think on paper it all makes sense to me.
It all makes sense.
But I'm watching it and I'm just like, this is the most shredded woman I've ever seen.
Yes.
And I just want her to destroy
Well, if there was a scene, and again, this is what I'm talking about, where it needed someone who was willing to, I'm sorry, but empower her more, because the movie literally stops an action scene for her to take care of her children. If she was taking care of her children while killing people, that would have been sweet. If she did that and she realized, okay, like she uses their like sexism against them, where it's like, she's like, oh, they respect the fact that I'm a woman and I'm like asking them to take care of my child, and then she does it again later to betray them, like, and just shoots them or something.
Yeah, and they're like waiting outside the door, and then like waiting, and then you just hear click.
That would have been so awesome.
That would have been sweet.
Just didn't want a boring movie.
They're kind of
all these things you might like.
It's
think
very
we sound
tedious.
stupid, and that it's all like a bunch of dumb ideas, and it for the most part it is, but they're fun ideas. It's like, that sounds so much more fun than
the reason
than nothing happening for most of the movie.
Well, yeah, the reason we have all these, it's the same thing we say, I feel like all the time, but it's because we were sitting there watching the movie and we were just like, oh my God, it would be better if this was happening. It'd be better if anything was happening. Because most of the movie, and I don't want you to watch it, so I'm just going to tell you, but most of the movie is just people shooting at each other and missing. Like for an hour and a half straight, it is mostly that. And then yelling.
And then talking from a distance.
Yes.
And then shooting at each other some more.
And
missing.
the way the shootouts are blocked and framed and shot, it's the most boring, unimaginative, just like, oh yeah, they're taking cover. What are they taking cover behind? Oh, a fence.
A post?
A post? Wait, you guys.
How is she missing?
How is she missing
keeps
them?
hitting the post.
There will
post
literally
here
be
and post
parts
here
where guys will be standing in the middle of a fucking cleared field and she'll be pointing a gun at them, and it's like, why aren't you shooting them?
Literally, the head of the evil man will walk about. I just want to talk. And I was like, she could end this right now.
End it right now.
She could end it right now. She has the gun on him. He's very close. He is almost as close as this camera is to us. And she's like at the window, and he's just like, I just want to talk. And the whole time we were like, shoot him.
They have a scene where Gina Carano, her husband's about to be killed, and Gina Carano is like, no, don't kill him. I'll do anything. And then the bad guy's like, anything? And she's like, yeah, anything. And he's like, okay, then have sex with all my guys. And the second that he said that, I was like, oh, dude, Gina Carano should just crush that guy.
Yeah,
in
no,
half
like
with her
he's
thighs.
gonna enter her, and she's gonna use her womb and her vaginal walls to crush his penis. And he's gonna be like,
she's working out. She's had 2 children
all over him. He's like, what are you doing to me? And then she's gonna grab a knife and stab into his brain, and he's gonna be like, ugh.
Because that's also backed up by the fact that they start
next.
He went to sleep. He just went to sleep. It all happens. He's just with the knife.
You're covered in blood. That looks fun.
The first guy starts pushing Gina Carano around like he's about to R her, and pulls her like panties down or like her blouse up or whatever, so you can see her thighs. And the second I saw her thighs, I was like,
that could just cut him in half.
Oh my God. That is horrifying.
Like, it's scary. Like, I would like, if I was that guy, I would be like,
she can grab his head and just
I don't
Just
want
shatter his teeth right now.
Gina Carano's husband has to be like the size of The Rock because like he would die
if he's alive.
His pelvis would just be crushed. Like I'm not getting like look up Gina Carano's thighs because they're massive.
I'm scared. I would be scared. Like, I can't believe that guy's brave. Honestly,
yeah,
he should have seen that and been like, I'm gonna leave.
Even play acting, like the actor should have been scared.
The actor should have been scared.
They never show her arms once because they know if they show you her arms, you'd be like, why is she not ripping their heads off? Because
she's gonna destroy them.
All of the bandits are skinnier than her. Like I'm not, or fatter. Like the main guy is fat, and then the rest of them are all skinnier than she is. And I'm just like, she would crush them like a can. And yeah,
she just wrapped one leg around that guy's neck and he's gone.
Like where they're all gonna go in there like one at a time to have their way with her or whatever. They should all be like, okay, you first though. No, you first.
No, and
no. She's gonna break my arm.
Okay, but I'm keeping my gun on me.
The movie needed to be more like You're Next.
Or Alita Battle Angel.
Alita Battle Angel. A movie about an empowered woman. And I guess that's the problem with the movie is that like...
they wanted a very organic empowered woman,
well,
which I'm fine with.
A subtle empowered woman.
Yes.
Where like she's
which
empowered.
Is more like Ripley from Alien.
You know, I mean, like, what's her name from, like, Ready or Not? They do a similar thing where it's like, she's not just badass in the movie, she actively struggles. She makes constant mistakes. She even injures herself on several occasions. But she does succeed little bits here and there, and you're like, oh my gosh, she got it. Yeah. I want her to succeed, so when she succeeds at the end, you're like, oh, great.
But yeah, Gina Carano doesn't really start succeeding till her husband shows up.
Yeah. Her husband literally shows up and she asks,
now I can kill people, yeah? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
can I kill these people?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Interesting, but at the same time, I will give them credit. The husband does not save her.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He jumps. Okay, the scene where the husband returns is one of the funniest, like, actual best parts of the movie.
It's so terrible.
So it starts off with like Gina Carano just got captured. Her children escaped. It's kind of like this like almost good part of the like good point in her storyline. But she got captured, so it's like, oh, what's gonna happen?
And we're coming. You're coming with us.
All of a sudden, it's this static shot of like the bad guy's camp, and Gina Carano's tied up at the top of frame. This guy walks up, and at first I just thought it was another one of the bad guys.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he jumps like Batman.
He literally goes, ah!
He's got a gun on him, and at first I was like, it took my brain a second to realize what I was watching, and then I was like, oh, that's the husband. Why didn't he just stand up there and shoot them? Like,
why didn't he just go, boom, boom, crack shot?
He literally is introduced as he used to be a sharpshooter. Why is he not shooting them?
Or jump on the guy with a plan to shoot, like jump on the guy with a gun.
Yeah, because he literally just jumps on the guy. The guy he jumps on is okay.
I got a gun on you now, and he's like, okay, sorry, I just jumped on your friend.
He literally is pointing a gun with 3 guns on him, and he's just like, let me leave.
You leave my wife alone, and it's like, why? We came here to kill you.
It's like, why? We have like 3 guns on you now.
And then
you didn't even like hurt the guy you jumped on.
He got right back up. He still has his gun.
And he also like, oh, I still got my gun, and my bones are fine.
My bones are fine.
That scene also just takes the opportunity to dump all the exposition on you about what happened with the...
she's like, you didn't tell me any of this. And he's like, well, I might as well tell you now.
Well, it also has that really great line the bad guy has of because it's revealed in that scene that Gina Carano's husband killed the daughter in a fire.
Accidentally. There's no such thing as moral grayness.
And he has this great line.
That guy had a terrible accent.
Yeah, no.
The main villain,
bad guy
this could be a whole section is how bad the main villain was.
Because he's terrible, and he just sounds like Charlie Day in Always Sunny in Philadelphia trying to do the Western character that he does sometimes, where it's like, this is clearly just a guy doing a Western voice.
Well, buy my cool.
My over yonder doesn't take kindly to know. Like, he just sounds like that. Like, he just sounds like an old prospector.
I couldn't help but notice your coop over yonder. I wonder if I might offer to buy some salt pork.
We're just a couple old men in from Dallas, and well, we're itching like a hound to give you something you want.
The guy that plays the villain is so terrible.
He's one of the worst actors I think I've seen in
a really long time.
Like, yeah, in a movie.
In such a big role.
What's the matter with you, son? Didn't your mom teach you any manners?
They bring up that really dark backstory between not the main guy, but the Gina Carano's husband and the main bad guy. And I'm like, are they not going to have a moment where the guy has any remorse that he killed a child?
No.
Which they don't.
He just says, I thought you were in there.
Instead it's like, oh yeah, I was keeping this from you because it's the worst thing I've ever done. Like, at least have some sort of thing where it's like, I deserve to die.
Well, they didn't include that, but they included a scene where a prostitute hits on him and then he pushes her instead of just nicely saying, no ma'am, I don't need your services. The one of the heroes of the film
he goes,
pushes this.
Go down, woman. He shoves her to the ground.
Probably have chlamydia.
She probably does.
I can't believe that her husband did not care that he killed a little girl.
No.
He legit does not, like, it keeps bothering me. I'm just like,
well, okay. He's like...
He should have died. He should have died and be like, well, I do deserve this. Like, Gina Carano and her family can live except for him.
Well, he has a line and then they put dirt over it immediately. He's just like, I didn't tell you because it's the worst thing I've ever done. And she's like, you didn't know. And he's like, that's true.
Why did you never tell me?
Bad enough if I had to kill men for the Confederacy and murder a child for the Union.
It wasn't murder. You didn't know.
Doesn't matter to him.
Yeah, that happened.
Then the scene's over.
Yeah, he does not care because like these are the good guys. They don't have to explain themselves.
Yeah, if it was more of a
That
flaw,
guy's a Confederate soldier.
Well, yeah, if they made it more of a flaw, and it's like
like a serious flaw, and you're like,
it could have had a message of the movie where violence begets violence, where he, like a real Western might.
Most Westerns actually have that theme in there where it's like the main character has done something that they cannot walk away from.
Yes,
like John Marston.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, when you are responsible
Unforgiven.
for the death of a little girl in a movie,
even if the dad is a Confederate, like you can't just
even if it's an accident, you get punished for something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's the logic of like any movie where there's death involved,
And there should have
right?
been something throughout where you're just like, there's something lingering with this guy. Like there's something that truly is holding him back in life because he knows what he's done. Like how in Manchester by the Sea, I know it's a different context. It's a little different. But it's a different context where the whole time you're like watching Manchester by the Sea and you're just like, there's something totally wrong with this person, something terrible happened to this person.
Yeah.
This person did something or something happened terrible in the movie and then you learn what it is. And it's like, okay.
Any more final thoughts?
Don't see it.
Yes,
it's not very good.
waste-
It is not worth the, what was it?
$14.
$14 on the Daily Wire Plus.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just watch this review. It's much more entertaining.
I hope so. Yeah.
We spoil it, so that way it's one of those reviews. It's like, yeah, at that point you've
have some
basically
clips
seen the
going
movie.
during
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have some clips. You've basically seen the movie.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Don't watch
On us.
it. I'm gonna give it a 0 out of 12.
Whoa.
Yeah, let's give it a 0 out of 12. There's nothing,
You
anything I don't like that I could possibly like about it. It's completely buried by things I don't like. And
Yeah.
I like the Western genre so much. I just hate it being butchered like this.
Yeah.
It did everything that you're not supposed to do with a Western, basically. This would have actually set us, because everything was so similar and done worse than other Westerns. Like every single time you keep bringing stuff up, it's like, oh, they should have done this. It's like they did do that in a better Western.
Yeah.
What they could have done is had Gina Carano destroy them all with her fists, and then that would be its own unique Western where Gina Carano.
There's no other Western where a woman
everyone with her
destroys
fists.
the bad guys.
That would have been cool.
It's not good, dude. And I think everything you said is completely accurate, which is why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I mean, there are a few good shots in there.
It's got
There's a few good effects
for everyone.
I might have been able to count 8 things in total, so
Yep.
because of that,
Yep.
it's an 8 out of 10. 8
Yeah.
individual.
You got to count the individual
things. You know what I mean?
Sometimes
it's
I
like,
go by that.
It's like I just gave a few out. I was like, well, it is directed by Ben Shapiro.
Your hero.
No.
I have to be consistent because our last video was on Chris Stuckman, and I gave Notes from Melanie a 0 out of 12. And now I find myself wondering, was I too harsh? Because I really didn't like Notes from Melanie, but it was only 20 minutes. So I can say the only way to be fair to Notes from Melody is to break Uncle Mikki convention.
You are not.
And give Assault on Prairie 13 the first ever negative score.
You can't.
I am going to give...
I keep saying you can't, but there are no rules.
Terror on the Prairie. I'm gonna give it a negative 12 out of 12 space eggs.
Negative 12. I thought you were gonna say negative 2.
Oh my goodness, negative 12.
I was like, I agree. 12. It is a little worse.
Negative 12.
Did you hear that, Ben Shapiro? You owe us some space eggs.
Movie owes me eggs.
Let's put it this way, Ben Shapiro. If your next movie that you direct has a perfect 12 out of 12 space eggs, you've zeroed out.
I really hated the Snyder Cut. And like, if I could go back and give the Snyder Cut retroactively a negative score, if I was that brave back then, I'm brave now.
You're brave now.
I'm brave now.
You've been empowered
I've been empowered
by the facts.
By watching all that Daily Wire content.
that unbiased, no agenda required.
Yeah, you have no agenda right now.
They have no agenda.
That's why you're able to give whatever score you want. 0, 8, negative 12. That's a negative score.
Yeah,
that's a negative score.
That's a negative score.
Our first ever.
Negative score.
Don't see it.
But really, please don't see it. It's not worth it. It's not fun.
It's only funny that we saw it. It's not going to be funny if you see it.
I want to end this segment with an advertisement to Ben Shapiro. Ben, hey, buddy, if you're looking for writers, you know, we threw out a lot of pitches in this video. I feel like.
I will sell out to you.
Yeah. I don't have any values that I wouldn't sell for money.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, like all of my values, all of them, money is better. I would write the most badass conservative Western in the world.
Dude, I would love to.
Like,
we could keep giving you Westerns.
We'll
so that way you can hike up the price
of Daily Wire Plus. We'll make them for cheap too. We don't have to shoot them in Wisconsin. We'll shoot them in my garage for free. Ben, we got you, buddy.
Yeah, we're here to support you.
We're here.
I know we just made a bunch of terrible jokes and trash,
but like
and all that.
You know,
I
think he'd appreciate that. We're showing our dominance. We're asserting our dominance.
That's true. We're showing our facts.
Yeah, we're showing our facts. Ben Shapiro loves to be destroyed with the facts.
He loves.
And the fact is, it's a bad movie.
The fact is, it's a bad movie. So Ben Shapiro, if you want, listen, if you want to come to your next movie screening with all the like the good movie facts.
Just drop a YouTube comment.
Drop a YouTube comment. You know where to find me.